Hey everyone, let's just jump right into today's explainer of Aloo Crorepati. Literally translated, it's the story of a potato who became a millionaire. Now it sounds a little wild, right? But it's actually this incredibly rich story that beautifully illustrates the principles of business, ethics, and just pure resilience. We're going to break down the source material today and see exactly how our guy navigated his way from the absolute bottom of the barrel to the very top. So you got to ask yourself, how exactly did a simple potato pull this off? How does a tiny vegetable stand turn into a massive empire? Well, the source material makes it super clear that this wasn't just a stroke of dumb luck or some overnight magic trick. Instead, it was this highly precise, almost stubborn combination of hard work, unbreakable patience, and relentless honesty. Our hero, Aloo, faced some crazy obstacles. Literal sabotage and moments of total despair, but his core values ultimately forged his path to success. Let's break down exactly how he did it.
Section 1. Aloo's Big Dream.
Okay, every massive empire has to start with a vision, right? And right from the jump, we see Aloo standing in his super modest, tiny vegetable shop, declaring this totally outrageous ambition to become a Crorepati. Now, just to put that into perspective, a Crorepati is someone with wealth exceeding 10 million rupees. Aiming for 10 million rupees from a little, unknown corner stand, most people would literally laugh in his face. But Aloo doesn't just sit around daydreaming. He instantly pairs that dream with action, serving his very first customer tomato and setting the stakes incredibly high from day one. He's not just trying to scrape by, he is trying to completely rewrite his reality through sheer dedication. Moving right along to Section 2, the first test of honesty. So as his shop slowly gains some traction, Aloo stumbles upon a lost bag, and it's full of money. Now pause for a second. If you're a struggling shop owner dreaming of millions, this looks like the ultimate shortcut, right? Boom, instant business funding. But instead, Aloo immediately tracks down the rightful owner, an elder named Bangin Chacha. When he hands the money back, the incredibly grateful elder tries to give him a cash reward, and Aloo totally refuses it. He just says, "Honesty is my biggest wealth." He literally tells the elder he doesn't need the cash, the guy's blessings are plenty. And guess what? Because of that unshakable integrity, word spreads like wildfire. His reputation skyrockets, and his business absolutely booms, all because people know they can trust him.
Which brings us to Section 3, Murchie's jealousy and conspiracy.
But of course, massive success always brings a few haters. Aloo's growing popularity triggers some intense jealousy in another vendor in the market, Mirchi. And instead of, just working on improving her own shop, she gets completely consumed by resentment. We see this awesome, classic clash of business ethics here. On one side, you have Aloo's way: grind hard, tell the truth, and stay extremely patient. And on the exact opposite side, you have Mirchi's way: plot to take Aloo down using active sabotage and vicious rumors. To pull off this dark little vision, Mirchi actually teams up with another character, Karela. Together, they launch this super calculated, brutal sabotage plan. It's a 3-step nightmare. Step 1, spread nasty, false rumors all over the village to wreck Aloo's flawless reputation. Step 2, literally steal and hide all of his vegetable inventory. And Step 3, just sit back, watch the loyal customers leave, and wait for his business to completely tank. All right, on to Section 4, the consistent victory of truth. And honestly, the sabotage kind of works at first. Aloo takes a massive hit. Customers just vanish, and his vegetables mysteriously disappear, leaving his shelves totally empty. The psychological toll of having your reputation dragged through the mud and your livelihood just snatched away, it has to be immense. But here is the absolute game changer. Aloo flat out refuses to panic. He doesn't go out looking for revenge. He just stays incredibly patient, reminding himself that everything happens for a reason. And because he'd been such a good guy in the past, these anonymous friends in the village start secretly gifting him vegetables just so he doesn't go entirely under. Aloo just puts his head down and keeps working, fully trusting that the truth is gonna come out eventually. You just can't hide it forever. This leads us perfectly into Section 5, forgiveness and new beginnings. Eventually, the guilt just eats away at the saboteurs. Seeing Aloo just continue to be a good person, Mirchi finally snaps. She exposes her own rumors, and the whole dark conspiracy just crumbles. Karela comes to Aloo completely overwhelmed with remorse, begging for forgiveness. And instead of exploding with anger, which, let's be real, would be so easy to do, Aloo hits them with this incredibly powerful response: "I forgive you from my heart. This is real bravery." He actually validates them for having the guts to admit they were wrong. By dropping the grudge, he doesn't just end a fight. He actively turns a terrible situation into a massive strategic advantage, inviting them to wipe the slate clean and work together. It's absolutely brilliant. By choosing forgiveness, Aloo radically transforms his former enemies into this powerhouse super team. Look at this shift. Aloo transitions from this solo dreamer grinding away to the honest leader of a crew. Murchie drops the jealous saboteur act and becomes a hardworking teammate promising to give it her all. Corella pivots from rumor spreader to a totally reformed supporter, and Tomato, of course, stays right there as a loyal ally. Suddenly, they are equipped to take on challenges way bigger than Aloo ever could have handled alone in his tiny shop. And finally, Section 6. Aloo becomes a millionaire. So with Aloo's reputation totally vindicated and this newly united, highly motivated super team behind him, they get an unprecedented opportunity. The power of collaboration kicks in instantly. Day 1, a massive order rolls in that old solo Aloo could never have dreamed of fulfilling. But by day 2, everyone is working together seamlessly. Mirchi and Karela are literally pouring their hearts into the work to honor Aloo's forgiveness. And boom, day 3, this massive order is delivered perfectly on time. The clients are absolutely thrilled, and this single event completely changes the trajectory of Aloo's life and his business. It literally took just one massive, successful collaboration. That's the crazy part. Everything he did compounded. The past good deeds, the insane patience during the sabotage, the crazy choice to forgive his enemies. It all snowballed into this single, flawless execution that turned his tiny vegetable stand into a huge, booming enterprise, making him the #1 merchant in the entire village. And with that, the grand vision is real. Aloo is officially a Crorepati. The whole village throws a massive celebration, acknowledging that he built his empire purely on honesty. But, true to form, Aloo stays completely humble. He credits his immense success to the blessings of his community and the simple, undeniable fact that honest, hard work always eventually pays off. He proves once and for all that while shortcuts and sabotage might cause a temporary headache, they absolutely cannot defeat genuine integrity.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought for your own journey. In a world that is totally obsessed with shortcuts, filled with fierce competition, and sometimes even malicious rumors, how are you going to let honesty shape your own success story today? Aloo's journey is the ultimate reminder that the high road isn't always the easiest, and it definitely requires some serious patience. But it is for sure the only path that leads to truly lasting wealth. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I really hope you take some of this wisdom into your own grand ambitions.